Where have I been? Well, on December 20th, 2023, I was right here on what is now a foundation. There used to be a 200-foot long original chicken coop that I had made into an internal private collection of 1956 Chevrolets and associated parts, and some places for my cows to come in the bad weather, like a lounge area where they could eat hay. And I was cleaning this foundation, shoveling all the cow manure because the cows are gone, and I was putting all the cow manure inside this, what I call now my greenhouse. It's a portion of the barn that I saved to make it a greenhouse, because I had rebuilt it to store hay in, and there was no point taking it down with the rest of the barn. So I was shoveling and shoveling and shoveling and scraping and cleaning the concrete pad. And all of a sudden it felt like a cow kicked me in the center of my chest. Kind of knocked me to my knees. And I'm actually about 600 feet from my house, with another barn between me and the house. Nobody knows I'm out here right now except my wife. And on December 20th, she knew I was out here working, but she hadn't heard from me in a few hours. And I realized if I couldn't walk back to the house, it was all over. Because see, I've been an EMT since 91101. I've made a lot of ambulance calls in my town as a volunteer, and I knew all the signs that I was having a heart attack. And if I didn't get to the house, they'd find me dead and cold. And that's what we call, unfortunately, an untimely. But if you can get help and you're found dead and warm, there's a possibility you'll survive. And I made it to the house. Renee was sitting at the dining room table, very convenient. I said, call 911. Heart attack. Hurts like hell, 8 out of 10. And I sat in my chair. I spent a day in the emergency department in the very hospital where I was born. And the following day, December 21st, 6 months ago today, a technician walked over to the bed I was laying on and said, "Don't move. Your aorta has dissected. We need to get you to Hartford Hospital as soon as possible." And that day, 6 months ago, was the day I had my first ambulance ride in LifeStar to go from Norwich, Connecticut to Hartford Hospital. I was there for 10 days. I was treated with a lot of drugs because my aorta didn't rupture. It just started coming apart, and they needed to control my blood pressure, my heart rate, and keep them as low as possible and keep me alive. Well, my wife called our pastor and our local friends and the 700 Club, and a lot of people started praying for me. And on New Year's Eve, 2023 to 2024, I walked out of Hartford Hospital and my wife brought me home. And I'm still walking with a dissected aorta. But my blood pressure and my heart rate are kept artificially low. But I don't have much energy. I can only walk. I can't do any strenuous lifting. I can't lift anything over 30 pounds if I want to get that risky. And I thought I was probably all done. Walking through salvage yards and producing, bring them back to life. But I've recovered fairly well, and I feel pretty good some days. And on a trip to Missouri last month, Renee and I found Thunder Road on Route 66. And I got out and met the owner, and he let me walk around. And I felt at home. I felt good. I felt happy. I was in a salvage yard. And I said, maybe I can come back. So I sat down and edited it. And last month, posted it to my channel. Well, last night I edited another one. And I think I'm coming back. I love walking through salvage yards. And just the other night, I got a text from Junkyard Willie in West Virginia. He said, Dennis, he said, I can't believe you sent me a note. He said, you're a legend. I've been watching your shows for years. I love what you do. I'd love to work with you. Let's get together and walk through a salvage yard together. And that re-energized me all over again. So that's where I've been. I didn't miss any commitments. I made all my meetings. I belong to the Republican Town Committee here in my town. And even though I felt so tired and so sick in January, my wife drove me to a meeting in my pajamas. And then I wrote the column in my newspaper. And then I made the next month's meeting. I didn't miss any commitments, I just didn't feel good. But I'm starting to feel good. So I think I'm back. And I hope you'll enjoy a lot more shows from Bring 'em Back to Life. This is Denny Salvage, the Junkyard Chaplain. And that's where I've been.